call roll one. So I'm going to call the meeting of the Ad Hoc Fine Arts Committee to order. Welcome, everyone. Can we please have a roll call?
Yes, ma'am. Chair
Thank you.
LaPlante,
Here.
Member Garcia,
Here.
Member Hart,
Here.
Member Rutledge,
Here.
Member Selman. Here.
Great. I move to approve the minutes from the Ad Hoc Fine Arts Committee, the regular meeting held on Tuesday, May 24th.
Second.
Thank you. And can we please have a roll call?
Sure. Chair LaPlante,
Aye.
Member Garcia,
Aye.
Member Hart,
Aye.
Member Rutledge,
Aye.
Member Selman. Aye.
Fantastic. That motion passes. Number 4, we've got public comments, and we do have public comments today. So I invite Philip Buchanan and Louis Achenbach up to speak. If you would please come behind me so the cameras can pick you up. How about a duel? I propose a duel. Okay. This is Philip Buchanan. Do you want to say who you are and what you
Yes,
do?
I do.
Okay, wonderful.
Phil Buchanan from Naperville. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Congratulations to the County Ad Hoc Public Arts Committee Chairwoman Lynn LaPlante and Vice Chair Sheila Rutledge. Commission members Selman, Desart, Garcia, and Hart for a successful first-of-kind arts festival in DuPage County. Board Chairman Cronin and Chair LaPlante had the wisdom and foresight to create this ad hoc committee. Many thanks go to County Executive Nick Kottmeyer and his great staff, Sheila Markey, Joan Olson, Tim Harbaugh, and many others. There is a long and distinguished list of partners who made this a success. Choose to DuPage, Greg Bedelow, and Amy Schilling, who worked their magic once again and helped make this a success. Beth Marchetti of the DuPage Convention and Visitors Bureau. This couldn't have been done without the invaluable DuPage County Fairgrounds Chief Executive, James McGuire, and his great staff. Terry Jones of the Chicago Federation of Musicians, Sharon Green Robb of Almamore Arts, and the many businesses who supported this endeavor. Thank you, one and all. Well done. As we all know, the arts are a huge economic engine to this county and enhance the quality of life for all the residents. Our goal was to support the local artists who have suffered during this COVID pandemic. And this festival was able to do that. Let's build on this for 2023. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Phil. Louis.
Sure.
My name is Louis Achenbach. I'm a working artist. I'm a Wheaton resident. I hate the old adage, you have to spend money to make money. Maybe that's because it's true, and I know that what it's like to not have any money. As every business owner knows, you don't turn a profit right out of the gate. You are investing in yourself and your abilities. But I do like this adage, you reap what you sow. We planted the DuPage Community Arts Festival, knowing the benefits to come and the work involved to make it successful. We're on the map with the Chicago Jazz Festival, just after this last weekend, the Hyde Park Jazz Festival, the Festival of the Arts in Glen Ellen. As long as we nurture the seed we've planted, we'll be good. Personal experience story. Lynn LaPlante brought me in to the festival because I answered the artist call. I'm a working artist, so I'm on the radar. And I invested in myself 10 years ago, and I'm pretty good at what I do, which is live painting. Last concert of the festival, I'd forgotten who the Eyes of March were. This is at the DuPage Community Arts Festival. I was tired. The crowd was tired. I'm sorry, the crowd was buzzing and modest, but they're buzzing with excitement. It was my birthday, May 28th. After Orbit Davis, I didn't think it could get any better. I was hearing and reacting to songs I knew and loved with Eyes of March. And then Jim Peterick and the Eyes of March started playing Eye of the Tiger. I went nuts. The crowd went crazy. It was the collective energy of the whole day come to fruition. Those of us that know that investing in the long game and staying until the end reap the benefits. I equate the arts with making money. I also equate the arts combined with vision and hard work as a wise investment in the community, because families coming together, anticipating a good time and spending money in one place is good business. Now, if you want to talk about innovation and how great ideas come about, it's creative thinking, plus community support, plus taxpayers' money, plus private investment, and blood and sweat and tears. And here we are. The seed has been planted. I'm thinking REO Speedwagon for next year. We're using our gifts for good with arts endeavors. We are being servant leaders by serving the citizens of DuPage County. And personally, I like seeing my taxes not just go to schools, roads, pensions, and helping the lost and the least, but taking it to the next level. And like every great society, nurturing the money attracting arts. We've got to have the eye of the tiger on this one. Thank you.
Thank you, Louis. That's wonderful. That concludes our public comments. And now for chairwoman remarks. I just want to say to everyone, we did it. We did it. We started something from an idea, a little seed. Yes, thank you, Jim. Thank you. And you know, we made it happen. And so I would like to give a giant and heartfelt thank you to all involved. That's the members here of the Ad Hoc Fine Arts Committee, the supportive colleagues on the county board, our fantastic county staff, our community partners, our sponsors, our supporters, all of our artists and our attendees. I'd also like to give a special thank you to Chairman Cronin, because I brought this idea to him and he said, yes, let's do a committee. And then when I brought the big idea, we all sat around that table. That was kind of nerve-wracking to say, okay, this has never been done before. What do you think? And that took a lot of, I'm really proud of his leadership that he showed. So this is a great example of bipartisan leadership on the DuPage County Board. We all worked together, we reached across the aisle, and we created something brand new. So thank you to everyone involved. I'm so proud of all of our hard work, our collaboration, and our community engagement. We have much to go over and recap today, and much to be thankful for. So let's move on to the discussion and the Arts Festival recap. Our VIP event, let's start there. And Greg, oh, thank you very much, Jason. So we put together a slideshow with wonderful photos captured by the artist, Michael Jackson. No, not that Michael Jackson, but there's another artist, and he is a fantastic photographer. He basically creates works of art. So you're gonna see those beautiful photos. Let's start with that. And Greg and Choose DuPage hosted our VIP night. It was a delightful way to thank our sponsors and unveil our donated architectural renderings, courtesy of White & Company. I'm not sure you can see it on the screen behind me, but these are them. We had these out on display at the fairgrounds. And so this is what a vision looks like. This is what we walked the grounds with the architectural firm White & Company. We explained our vision and they came back with this. And wow, is all I can say. When I saw these renderings, and I think Greg, you can attest to this as well, we had goosebumps, the chills, you name it, because to see just something come from our minds and then to be put on paper like this really was astounding. And that evening was fantastic. It was a great way that we could thank all of our sponsors, and we had a lot of sponsors. We raised $76,000 in sponsorships. We forged new relations and connections with our businesses in DuPage County, and we know they share and support our bold vision. We will grow these relationships and build on them as we move forward with this initiative. And I do want to shout out, I think, Jason, can you, next slide, please? And we're going to get to here's some of our performers. Let's go ahead to the sponsors. I'm going to read them because I just can't thank them enough. So sponsors and partners, Arts DuPage, and this is in alphabetical order, AT&T, Ball Foundation, Chicago Jazz Philharmonic, Choose DuPage, Christopher Burke Engineering, DCVB, DuPage County, DuPage Fairground Association, Hamilton Partners, Gelsert, Macklin, Mesereau, Northwestern Memorial Healthcare, Newmark Credit Union, Old Town School of Folk Music, US Bank, WDCB, White and Company, Wintrust Community Banks. Thank you. And now back to the event in and of itself for the VIP event. We had our performers that evening, WDCB's Orbert Davis and his quintet, and jazz great Tammy McCann hit it out of the park. Painter Lou Achenbach was there, capturing it all on canvas, as you can see. And George Berlin had adults coloring and finding their inner artist that night. The food was delicious, and Jim McGuire and his staff did a fantastic job hosting the event on the fairgrounds. And thank you again to our very important partner, Choose DuPage, in this initiative. Thanks to all involved. Moving on to the main event itself the next day, as you see in these photos, we were blown away by the level of artistry on display. It was top-notch and world-class all the way. We had about 1,300 people in attendance that day, which is fantastic for a first-time event. And now we build on this momentum going forward. These photographs show the diversity, the wide range of styles, the excitement, and the joy that was expressed through all mediums of art and felt by all attendees. Our deep gratitude to all who shared their gifts with our community. There were folks who traveled from out of state to hear some of their favorite artists, and also out of state visitors bought art from local artisans. This event shows the impact the arts have on tourism and economic development. The event brought in $215,000 in revenue. From the initial $100,000 investment from the county, plus the money in sponsorships, we were able to minimize the cost of hosting the event, and so the total net expenses to the county were $44,000. And now I would like to share feedback about the DuPage Community Arts Festival from those who participated. We're going to start with Jim Newcomb, who is the president and CEO of the Old Town School of Folk Music, and he is a verified expert on arts festivals. He is in between meetings, but he made sure to make room and time in his very busy schedule to talk with us today. Jim, we'd love to hear from you.
Well, hi, and thank you so much for including Old Town School, both in your first event and in this sort of after action review. And congratulations.
Thank you.
Doing a festival for the first time is always the hardest one. And it's the hardest one to get people to come to. It's the hardest one to put together. It's the hardest one to figure out. And I can tell you from Old Town School's perspective, you guys made amazing strides, and you should be really proud of yourselves. I think you've done something great. Just to give you a sense of how festivals kind of tend to work, I'll give you a brief tale of two festivals. We had a first festival this year ourselves, and we had our 30th version of our street festival at Old Town School called Square Roots. Square Roots happened in July, and because it's been going on for a long time, we broke attendance records. We had more than 40,000 people attend the festival over its 3 days. It was jammed. But we had a really hard time getting vendors this year and other things out there. So we ended up, in some ways with a more sparse offering, even though it was our busiest year ever. Great acts, great whatever. But this is a tough year to get people to invest in festivals. It's just, the economy, everything, people were freaked out about it. But it was a soaring success, and we made, between us and our partner, the Chamber, we brought in more than $100,000 each in net. As well as tremendous amounts of goodwill and lots of additional participation ongoing in both the school and our local businesses. But it took us a long time to build to that. We also started a first festival this year called the Fretboard Summit, which we did in partnership with the Fretboard Journal, and we had less than 1,000 people. We judge it a huge success because we got it done the first year, and we didn't lose any money, which is, always great for a first festival. You normally expect to lose money the first year, and we did expect to lose money, but we didn't. And the news coming out of it was the vendors and participants alike wrote a petition that we do it again next year.
I love it.
No, they didn't need to petition us. The plan has always been to do it next year, but it just gives you a sense of, I hope, of the hard work that goes into starting something. DuPage, by our estimation, has an enormous need that can be that should be met for people to participate in the arts in a community setting. And your steps here, I think, really put you on the path to having something fantastic. I mean, for a first-year festival, the acts that you had, the vendors that you had, the partners that you already brought to the table, I think set you up very, very nicely to grow this in the future. And so, with that, if you guys have any questions for me about Old Town or anything and our interest, I'd be happy to answer them. But really, I just wanted to say, super good job. I mean, really well done.
Thank you so much, Jim. I really appreciate those words of support and encouragement, especially coming from you and your organization. You are the top of the top. So to hear that from you really, really holds a lot of weight. So thank you. My question for you is, do you see future partnership possibilities between Old Town School of Music and the County of DuPage and moving forward?
Oh, absolutely. We would love to get more involved in DuPage. I think it's, it's for us, it's a relative no-brainer to be involved with the county. We just we think that you have all the pieces. You have all the pieces to have a really vital, interesting, and active community arts scene that feels like DuPage.
Yeah.
And I think that's the critical thing. And it's hard initially to find your way through these things, but the responses that we got from people and the artists who were performing and other folks who attended were like, hey, you're gonna do more? We want to do more. You're gonna do more? And it was very supportive. And I think you certainly, especially the population growth DuPage's experience in the last, 10 or 15 years has been amazing, right? You have the people, you have the partnerships already between the county and the business community and interested members of the public. I mean, I think you've got all the pieces.
Great, thank you. Again, your expertise means a lot. So thank you so much. Does anyone else have any questions for Jim?
I just have one quick question for you. Do you participate in any other festivals in DuPage at all, or was this the only one that you participated in?
This is the only one we've participated in directly. Yes.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, that's a this was a great catch. For us to get Old Town School of Music was a major, major coup. So we're proud of that. Thank you so much, Jim. I appreciate your support, your participation, and look forward to building on this and moving ahead and creating some fantastic artistic experiences with you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, let's hear from Mr. Betelov from Choose DuPage, the president and CEO of Choose DuPage, our county's economic engine.
Thank you very much, Chair LaPlante and members of the ad hoc committee. It's good to be with you remotely today. I did submit a letter because I knew I wasn't going to be able to attend in person on behalf of the board of directors of Choose DuPage. It was an extreme pleasure to participate in this event with you all. We hope to the extent that we could elevate the profile of the event within the business community, that we served our job and that we helped to promote the economic development efforts of Choose DuPage and DuPage County through the Community Arts Festival. Anecdotally, I will say that the feedback that I received from the Choose DuPage board members who were in attendance on Friday night, as well as the festival on Saturday, was 100% positive. And many Choose DuPage board members and other businesses located within the county have already inquired as to ways that they may volunteer next year, things like pro bono work from a legal perspective. As Chair LaPlante mentioned, White & Company was pleased to do the artist renderings that you've seen today. So again, when we were asked to and I particularly was asked to get involved with the committee. I made it very clear that the arts and the economic impact the arts has on DuPage has long been a strategic plan item for Choose DuPage. It's long been approved by our board. We did this exercise previously, as many of you know, with Chicago Symphony Orchestra and our partners at the Morton Arboretum. So this is nothing that was kind of new to us or nothing that came out of the blue to us. It's something that Choose DuPage has always believed very strongly in. And we were pleased to be involved this time. And I too think that there's always opportunities for improvement, but it's a great first start. And to the extent that you all want us to be involved in the future, we will be happy to lend our support and assistance as you all deem appropriate. And the VIP night, which kind of hosted a Choose DuPage board meeting at the same time, was just a wonderful opportunity to expose what you all envisioned from an overarching arts perspective to many leaders, not only of my board, but their invited guests and other members of the business community in DuPage. So thank you for including me. Appreciate it.
Of course, thanks for all your hard work right alongside us. That was we worked together so well as a team. And I want to thank everyone from Choose DuPage because you guys were there from jump. And boy, oh boy, did we work hard, did we not? So thank you so much, Greg. And thank you for everything you've done. And of course, we're going to continue. I was going to have Beth Marchetti speak next, but she is ill today and is unable to make it. But she did prepare a white page for this event, and it showed positively and irrefutably the great economic impact that just this one event had in DuPage County. I want to save that for her, so she'll be able to explain it and walk us through that later. But she did provide that for us. And so we want to also thank the DuPage Convention and Visitors Bureau and Beth Marchetti in particular, because she knows exactly what drives tourism and, you know, again, that economic development and what draws people into DuPage. And that's what her goal is. And we worked in tandem with her for that. So that's great. You'll all see that later. I would love to ask Jim McGuire, the Executive Director of the DuPage County Fair Association, to give some words. Thank you so much, Jim, for being here, and thank you for partnering with us in this.
You're welcome. It was an exciting
Come on over here, Jim.
event.
Want to come up here? There we go.
Yeah, thank you, Lynn. It was an exciting event for us to be a part of. There was a lot of work involved with it. It was also our kickoff to our event season. So it was the very first event that we had this year after having it postponed from the previous time. And really got us off to a really good start. Many of the vendors who participated at your event also continue to come back and be a part of our future events for this year. We had a couple of the restaurants who participated in the VIP night on Friday. I know that they truly appreciated the opportunity to come in and show their skills and their food product, but I also know that they got additional business through that.
Yes.
So when we started this discussion, we were talking about bringing new business, new opportunity to restaurants, to artists. I know that we were contacted by several people asking about the artists who were at the event, so people could reach out to them after the event. So it continued and it went on. So in our minds, it helped us because it really got our grounds in really good shape. I hope everyone appreciated the look of the fairgrounds and the work that we put in to welcome everybody and to receive everybody to the grounds. And that gave us a really good head start to one of the busiest, if not the busiest, summer event season that we've ever had on the grounds. So in a way, it made our life a little easier because we were ready.
Yeah, right.
And we just continued to clean up, build up, and to continue to build. And the grounds are in great shape. They look great, and we'll be ready for you next year too. So
Awesome.
thank you, guys. It was a great experience for us. For all the events we've done in the fairgrounds, it was some of the most, I will say, talented people that I've seen on stage. Really good artists. The level of artistry was, as you mentioned earlier, pretty phenomenal. And we built some relationships with those folks as well. So we look forward to working with them in the future. I hope that in the future, we also get some more of the artists, the people, the actual painters and those folks involved early on in here. I took off and went to Ann Arbor to see that event, to kind of learn about the art festival and what was before us. And that vision, I see it very clear on our grounds, to
Yes.
bring that many artists and to bring that type of event, because people come from all over
Yes.
to participate in that. And there's no reason we can't do that here at the fairgrounds and add to that impact that Beth's going to share with you in the future. So thank you. It was our pleasure. You kept us very busy. It was fun. It was a lot of work, but
Yeah,
we like work. We're
Yeah,
grateful to have work. So thank you.
thank you, Jim. I totally agree. Yeah, it will, the first time, right? Doing everything now that's already set up, right? But thank you so much, and I agree. I would love more visual artists, and that's something that is just gonna keep growing. So I hear you, hear to that. I have a letter. Terry Juris, the president of the Chicago Federation of Musicians Union, was unable to be here. She's with the Lieutenant Governor right now. So she gave me a letter to read on her behalf. To the DuPage County Board from Terrell Juris. Thank you to the DuPage County Board for allowing me to serve as an advisor to the DuPage County Ad Hoc Fine Arts Committee. As the current president of the Musicians Union and a professional musician for over 50 years, I was honored to make recommendations for musical talents to entertain at the festival. The performers were extremely diverse, from solo artists to cover bands, classical musicians to jazz artists, and Mexican and African-American ensembles and ethnic dancers. We also had a chance to converse with representatives of local orchestras, universities, and music schools. There was something for everyone. I was excited at the success of this groundbreaking event. The audiences were engaged and enthusiastic. They were given the opportunity to experience other visual arts as well. And there were people of all ages sharing the, quote, fine arts experience, unquote. This festival proved that the residents of DuPage County will support the artistic development of our community. This was just the start. I hope to see this festival continue as an annual event, with the hopes that a permanent performance venue will be built that will help bring our communities together and enhance the ability of bringing tourism and revenue to DuPage County. I look forward to continuing the work of the Fine Arts Ad Hoc Committee to bring artistic enrichment to the lives of us all. And that is from Terry Juris. She is a resident of DuPage County and the president of the Musicians Union of Chicago. Let's see, I have another one. This is a note from Michael Salter, who is a teaching artist with the Chicago Jazz Academy. To whom it may concern, the DuPage County Fine Arts Festival provided a very meaningful and impactful experience for the Chicago Jazz Philharmonic Jazz Academy students. I personally was able to experience the festival as both a performer with Orbert Davis and as a teaching artist for CJP. The DuPage Community Fine Arts Festival provided a very diverse and inclusive lineup of artists and musicians. People from very different artistic backgrounds, as well as socioeconomic statuses, were able to showcase their talents and skills for audiences that they usually are not able to reach. For many of our students, this was their first time performing at a festival. They were able to experience what a sound check was like, as well as performing for a large, engaging audience. This was an experience that our students still talk about to this day, that I feel played a significant role in their development this year, and a moment that will stay with them for the rest of their lives. It is my hope that this festival continues each year, as I have no doubt that it will continue to grow and leave a meaningful legacy for not only the community of DuPage County, but for the state of Illinois. And that's signed from Michael Salter. And then I have the amazing Muriel Anderson, who is a guitarist from DuPage County, who flew in from the East Coast for this event.
Downers Grove too.
Pardon me?
Downers
Yeah, she
Grove.
is from Downers Grove. That's right, the
Grove North.
hometown hero. That's right.
Grove North Grand.
They all love her in Downers Grove and everywhere in
She's in
DuPage.
the Hall of Fame at Downers Grove North High School.
She's amazing. She's truly an unbelievable artist.
Absolutely.
So this is from her. You will like this then, Member Krajewski. As the founder of the Music for Life Alliance and a musician with deep ties to DuPage County, I can speak with you about my personal experience with the power of music. In this month alone, 2 people told me that my music had brought them out of a dangerous depression. Also, an acquaintance who was refusing a life-saving operation suddenly changed his mind and had an operation after I told him I would do a concert in his honor in April. I am happy to say the operation was successful and he is very much looking forward to the concert. Artists only learn about a fraction of the people their art has reached and the effect it has upon their lives. Even more clearly, in my experience, playing music has lifted me when I needed that most. I feel that the DuPage Fine Arts Committee is poised to be a leader in promoting arts that lift people up and promote creating art for people of all ages. I don't know if there has ever been a time when this has been more needed. And that's from Muriel Anderson. And we have included some of these fantastic quotes in our slideshow. I also have one of our partners, DuPage Foundation. Barb Sapaniak was unable to be here today because she had a conflict. She sent this letter. Dear Lynn, Arts DuPage, a DuPage Foundation initiative, works continuously to unite audiences with the robust arts sector in the region and is excited to see DuPage County recognize the power of the arts and the value they bring to the community. In supporting the DuPage Community Arts Festival, the county created a perfect platform to highlight the many outstanding performing arts groups from DuPage. By embracing the arts, DuPage County communicates a clear message to its residents and visitors. The arts matter. The arts celebrate our diversity, unify our communities, and strengthen our economy. Within its boundaries, the county is home to first-class arts offerings that range from small venue cabaret experiences to award-winning theater productions. Choral and instrumental concerts, including the highly acclaimed Chicago Symphony Orchestra performing at Wheaton College, cultural exhibits and public art displays are a part of the local fabric that provides entertainment and education to over 1.5 million people annually. This type of event enlivens our community and brings benefits to all who live, work, and play here. Sincerely, Barb Sapaniak, Vice President for Programs, DuPage Foundation. There are many letters that have been coming in. This one from George Berlin, I think it was really interesting. Jason, can you find that slide with George's quote on there? As an art booth exhibitor, this showcase gave me a space to connect with the locals.
Michelle, can we scooch Greg Bedloff's face to the lower corner? Oh,
Jason,
sorry.
can someone, sorry.
Okay.
Okay, activation that day at the event, the kind of networking opportunity that's crucial to a business like mine. Oh, thank you. In reaching the people who appreciate it. So this is what what George wanted to talk about was what this has done for him as an artist. So this performing and showcasing his art at the DuPage Community Art Festival has already led to new opportunities for him on a very big scale. So he says, we've also received considerable interest in designing additional large-scale projection murals by an outdoor installation designer in Denver, which can be directly attributed to the promotional videos we created of our activation at the DuPage Community Arts Festival. It was a valuable opportunity to show what we create and bring something new to residents of DuPage County that is normally only seen in larger urban centers. And George, he does work he has the art displays right now just outside of Sydney, the Palace of Parliament in Bucharest, Romania, and upon the Berlin TV Tower in Germany, as well as multiple permanent large-scale light sculptures in Taiwan. So he knows what he's talking about here. He says it was a valuable opportunity to show what we create. Oh, I said that. For these reasons and many others, please continue to grow funding for the DuPage Community Arts Festival in 2023 and beyond, and the arts is a major driving force in DuPage County. Thank you so much, George. And he donated his art to the county. So we have to now find a place to display it. So I don't know, maybe arm wrestle? Whose arm?
How big is it again?
It's big, it's big. Maybe in the, who knows, some public art. And I know for Greg, he just had to step out, but that is a big issue for him. He wants public art. So thank you so much. To summarize, I feel that the vision for what is possible with the arts in DuPage County is simply limitless. When we walked the grounds with the architects from White and then saw that vision come to life in these renderings, I was speechless for once. This was something that Greg and I, when we both saw them, and Greg, I would love to hear you speak to this, but it almost was overwhelming to see what is possible. I know that Jim shares those visions. I know a lot of our, like I said, our chairman, all of the people that were just mentioned, all of our community partners, they're behind this. So we have a lot to be proud of. We're excited to move this forward. And I can't wait to see where we go from here. Would anyone else like to add anything to this? Member Rutledge as
Yes.
vice chair?
Absolutely. No, I'm still trying to take all of that.
I
in.
know, right?
This is such a great legacy for what we did.
Yes.
And a little bit of a slow start, but I think in the overall scheme of things, that's a good thing. We got to kind of feel everything we tried to do.
Mhm.
We'll definitely go on to next year when we plan this event again. And definitely a worthy endeavor that I hope to see again.
Yes, and this
And be part of
committee is not simply about hosting a fine arts festival. This is just a launch pad. This is just one thing that we can do. And Shannon, I wanted to thank you. Shannon is someone who has plenty of experience. That's what she does, is run all of these arts festivals in her Ironmore Arts. Shannon, would you like to add something from your experience and expertise?
Sure, thank you. I think that the thing that made me so excited about this festival was the collaboration across the board, the collaboration of the artists, the collaboration of the audience, of you guys there together. And I think that's, as Jim was saying earlier about DuPage, I think we have everything in our community that we need. And this is just a great launch pad. That's a great way to put it. I mean, those renderings, I'm still kind of like in my brain looking at that going, oh my gosh, this would be so cool here. And it's just exciting. I think that we're overdue. I mean, as Greg said earlier, this has been an initiative for a long time. And it's exciting to have the public-private partnership happening. It's exciting to have the board behind it. And it's exciting to see all these artists come out and say, oh, finally there's a place for me to be here, you know, and it's really exciting. So congrats to all who worked so hard on it. Well done.
Congratulations to you, because you helped so much and you were such a wonderful addition to this committee. So I'm so grateful. Okay, so we will continue to grow. This is simply the start, a springboard into the future. Again, from all of us on the Ad Hoc Fine Arts Committee, a giant thank you. So moving on to old business. Does anyone have any old business? Yes, Member Garcia.
Yeah, I just have a couple of questions on the whole recap that you just did there.
Mhm.
It sounds like, you know, we've got a lot of people who are very excited about it. I know everybody did really great work on it, stuff like that. I unfortunately was not here for this weekend. Is a couple of things. I'm all about the numbers in terms of bringing them to either this committee first and then the county board. I know you said a lot of numbers, that there were 76,000 in sponsorship, 1,300 people in attendance, $215,000 in revenue. I hope I got all that right, which is 44,000 in expenses for the county. I believe I got all that right. I'm just wondering if we can get that in writing, everything in it, so that we can have it clear. So I'm a paper person, I need to read it. So I'm just wondering if we can get that in our packet. So I know we didn't get anything of all this information. So okay, so I'm just wondering about that. And then I'm just trying to see the vision of where this, I know you said that this is not all we're going to be doing now. So what's the vision you see as the chairman of this for the future? I mean, do you see us, I mean, I thought that when I came in the beginning, I thought we were going to be helping the artists a little bit more, but that's kind of changed, I believe, the direction to where, because I thought we were going to be helping them financially due to COVID. I think that's what I came in thinking. And I'm just wondering what the whole thinking is on this committee now.
I just said that was a misunderstanding. We have
Yeah.
never.
And it could have been my
Yeah,
misunderstanding.
that was not, I think, I'm sorry that you have that misunderstanding.
I mean,
but that
that's
was
just
not-
kind of what I thought. So I'm just trying to
True
see.
opportunity, I
Right.
think, was the,
Right,
let's
okay.
help these.
So I'm just trying to look at what some of the plans are that maybe everybody has in the future. I know you've got the plans behind you. Are you looking to get that done in the next few years?
Yeah,
the
I
finance
really,
part?
I wish that you could have been there, because this was all
I
talked
wish I
about and
could.
discussed.
It was my
And
granddaughter's
it was,
birthday.
you know,
so sorry.
so you're gonna have to jump on a moving train that has already left the station, but we're happy to bring you up to speed. So yes, this is a vision of what is possible and what the potential is. We
Okay,
feel that as a county of 1 million people, more populous than 5 states,
okay.
and and with a very robust and healthy budget, and we have a very well-resourced county, we noticed that there's nothing that was dedicated to the arts. So the
Right.
arts and you cannot separate arts and economic development. They
Okay.
go hand in hand. So this is a way to look in a different angle towards propelling our county forward. This is an investment in our county, in the government, and then the people of DuPage County. So
Okay.
this is just the start. So we are only limited to our imagination. So this is what this is all about, is creating something which is what we have done
Right.
and what we are able to do.
And I appreciate their
Yeah,
vision. I
yeah.
really do appreciate your vision. Everybody
Right.
here has a great vision on that.
Right.
I'm just looking for, for the taxpayers' dollars, what's the best use of our dollars and how we can do it in the most fiscal correct way, I guess is the way I'm trying to say it. So that's what I'm just trying to look at. So I just want to get some idea of where we think the financing is going to go for some of these bigger plans that you have. So I can hear some of that in the future and some.
Yeah,
those
of
things.
course. And that's the whole point, is to develop a private and public partnership, because that's the way it's going to do. As Greg alluded to, and so did Shannon, that this has been attempted in the past. And the piece that was missing was the involvement from DuPage County. Greg, would you like to say anything to that?
I don't know what I could add to that. There has been starts and stops on this in the past with different units of government, and we just kind of are where we are right now.
Yep. Thank you.
I
Yes.
just want to suggest, if you haven't already done it, to go to the River's Edge Park in Aurora along the river there.
Great idea.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about that. Yeah.
It's an amazing venue. This would be definitely above that, but the acts that they can bring into that venue are amazing. I've only been there the one time we went and saw the Bee Gees retrospective. But huge stage, great grounds, good staff and security.
That's
big
not run by
crowds.
the county, right?
I'm sorry?
That's not run by the county.
No, I
that's all-
believe it's run by the city of Aurora.
Oh, yeah.
It's run by the city.
Oh,
of
that's,
Aurora.
yeah.
Okay.
Public-private partnerships, and it's completely and utterly
It is a
revitalized their
Cool,
downtown.
cool,
Okay, I'll take a
cool.
look
The
at it.
impact is very tangible.
Okay.
You can like
Yeah.
see it, feel it, experience
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Member Selman.
I'm glad you mentioned some of the bigger acts, because just a couple weeks ago, I had gone to Ravinia with my mother to go see Sting. And, sitting there, and all I could think was, how could, sadly, we left after getting rained on for 2 hours.
Oh.
but I'll make it up to her. I just couldn't help but look at, if we could take, I'm a gardening person. I love just looking at the beautiful grounds. We've got that part with what Jim's doing. We've got the beautiful butterfly garden. We need the infrastructure, and then we needed the support, and we've proven the support part. I've joked with you a few times, if you decide to get rid of this public service part, I've got a bunch of people who'd hire you to be a fundraiser.
Yeah.
Because professional fundraisers don't bring in those kind of dollars in a year. That's a 3-4 year timeline to raise dollars like that.
Yeah.
So I think having the partnership of the fairgrounds, having the partnership of Choose DuPage, it was just the right moment. And I think a little bit of post-COVID
Yeah.
luck too. And so I'm excited to see where it goes. I think I said to you on the day of that I didn't feel super confident until I saw Jim McGuire looking really relaxed and enjoying himself, because you're the expert in when this looks good, right? So if you were happy, and then seeing Jim, you come say, they
Yeah.
had an event with even less people, and
Oh,
that
yeah.
checked the box because it's something you
Yeah.
grow on. I think we just finally have the right foundation to, like, the
Yeah.
only limit is our lack of creativity. which
Yes.
I don't
Agreed.
think you have, so.
No,
I think we'll get there.
agreed. Thank you so much. Member Krajewski.
Yeah, thank you. I just listened to everybody talking today, a couple of the citizen comments and some of the people that were on our Zoom. I've been involved in, arts and stuff for many years in festivals. And I heard one gentleman talk today. I've seen some that had started out the first year and made a boatload of money. Other ones, it's taken them several years to do well. Clearly, it appears you're on the right track. We did a lot of this when I was mayor in Downers Grove for my 8 years. And, Greg Budeloff can attest to that, since he was the guy brought in as our Downers Grove Economic Development guy. But clearly, we did arts with Muriel Monday, Muriel Anderson.
Yep.
I was out with her dad the other day, but she came in, did some festivals. We ran, as a government, we ran our festivals in downtown Downers, which was called Heritage Fest. Now the Rotary's taken over, but twice in my mayor's term, I had the Eyes of March play. So clearly you're on the right path. The first concert I ever went to when I was in high school was REO Speedwagon. And honestly, I almost went Sunday. They were playing in Des Moines, Iowa, and they're actually playing tonight in Moline.
You can make it.
I know, but the
There's
person I
time.
was going to go with is can't, but I was almost going there. So if you guys are on that track for REO, I would, suggest
That'll be
that,
fun.
continue. They're, like I said, they're local. They're playing with Sticks too, who actually, I remember when I was in junior high, they played at Towers Go South, but local band, local groups from the area. So those are ones that can also draw people. So again, like the March, which we had Downers Grove, because Peter Rick was from the Burridge area, and and that drew a lot of people from Downers to the event just for the fact that he's local.
Right.
And some of these local ones that are there, so clearly on the right path with that. I did kind of what Member Garcia was looking for. I was asking Jason for some of the financials. I think when he gets them to you, the revenue is about $95,000. That 215 number you're throwing out there is not a correct number. That includes the 100,000 that we got or that we gave, from the county. So that wasn't any revenue. Plus, there was money taken out, 17 grand of cash that was taken out to have the vendors have cash available for the day of the event. That 17,000 was then deposited back in the bank and counted as revenue, but it was a wash. It was money that was used for before the event started and given back after the event was over. That doesn't count as revenue. There was purchases of beverages that I saw in there. You didn't use all the beverages, so they gave you a refund back. That's not revenue. So when you start pulling all that money out, you'll get a true revenue number and a true, expense number. I think you'll get to the same 44,000 will be there, but
Of course.
but then, you can take, and I've been part of both with organizations I sit on that we do some arts, and then when I was mayor, is take a deep dive into, what went wrong, what went right, where can go in the future to, and I'll give you one example. We have the Education Foundation local school that's got the big festival with the arts coming up this 2 weeks. They lost a lot of money the first couple of years, but they've now turned around. They have, and I know Greg Butloff will know that, but they have a major donor now who underwrites the band. They'll write a $60,000 check to cover the cost of the band coming in there. So, there are those type of people out there that you can find now.
Absolutely.
Be successful, and they got, you may know Greg, I'm not sure of the band, I've never heard of it, but it must be good. A lot of money. Freddie something is coming to their main band, but again, I think doing a deep dive into the different costs and where you can get stuff.
Sure.
Yeah. But again.
Yeah, and that's part of doing something the first time is you don't learn unless you do. It's just impossible. So then it's an amazing learning experience because we can say, okay, let's look at this, let's look at that, change this, tweak that. So that's all part and parcel of this process. Absolutely.
And then pick a better day than Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah,
It's just-
that would be the one thing.
Well,
I
hopefully that was not that. You can talk to Omicron about that, right?
Well,
Omicron has entered the chat. I mean, this is what happens during COVID is that we had a different date, but Omicron spiked and we listened to the absolutely astute guidance of our health department.
No,
So-
but a different weekend.
I understand, Brian, but that wasn't our first choice, and this is what you do during COVID. So the fact that we did this in a pandemic is even more absolutely
It's not running
astounding.
that slow. We try
God
to
bless you.
schedule some stuff, school events and stuff. We try to do it around weekends
Yeah,
where
we
you
get
gotta
totally.
pick the right date. And, we should have that now for the future.
Absolutely.
Picking a date besides.
Yeah, we got it.
Yeah, I think
it's-
we've all talked about that already.
Yeah, but I mean, that's what happens, and this is what, when you gotta roll with things, that if the pandemic taught us nothing, it's that you've gotta be flexible and roll with things, so. But thank you very much for your comments, I appreciate it. Yes, Member Chaplin.
Thank you, thanks. Yeah, and thanks so much for all the effort that you, this committee did in putting the Fine Arts Festival together. And like Brian, I've had a lot of experience with running events and arts events, especially when I was involved with the Midwest Ballet. We did a lot of events in Downers Grove. Brian, you remember how much
Yeah, by
ballet, the money
Finley,
revenue?
right? Back there, we set up that nice
At the
art studio.
Tivoli. So we did the Nutcracker and all those performances. We brought in a lot of revenue for Downers Grove with the out-of-town people.
Thank
So what I'm looking forward to, I think it's really important that we do get an accurate report of the revenues, which was due 2 weeks after the event was concluded. But I'd also like to see, I know at the ballet, when we did the ballet, we went and we took, we got all the zip codes of who attended from their zip code, the tickets. I think it'd be helpful for us to know what zip codes people are coming from. I also, we would also send out like a questionnaire to, we had like people selling little things. What did they think worked? Like Brian said, what worked, what didn't work, what went well, what didn't go well. I think that would be great. We have something in writing. There's never been really anything in writing from this committee. So I think something, a tangible, good report would be helpful for all of the board members going forward. And then, yeah, just like I said, a little bit more accurate, because I was just doing the numbers really quick. If there were, you said we had 1,300 people, but that doesn't add up with the amount that we sold in tickets. So again, I think we need to shore up those finances just so we have a better understanding, unless there were some free tickets given out or things like that. There must have been a lot of free tickets. Yeah.
Things like that.
So, and that's
And
great. And I
staff,
think,
exactly. Don't you remember that staff was given free admission?
We voted on that on the board.
Yeah,
floor.
Yeah.
you might not have been aware, but we voted on
yeah,
that.
yeah, they're right. But I don't know how many staff. We should maybe do that, see too, and see how many of our staff, maybe put a little survey out to see how many of our staff attended the event. I think it would be great. And then I do like the renderings of the fairgrounds. And I think when we did this years ago, I don't know if anybody remembers, but
Well, it wasn't done here.
well, I think we worked with somebody, Brian, you might remember about trying to have something here at the fairgrounds. And I don't know, maybe even you, Greg, but was it a location issue that was the issue with the fairgrounds for the, because I remember Paul Fichtner worked on this.
Yeah.
Many,
Many years ago, Choose DuPage was asked by Chairman Cronin to take a look at the fairgrounds property and determine whether or not the current uses were appropriate, any alternative uses that might be appropriate, any additional opportunities for economic development or growth. We did a complete report. It is, Member Chaplin, it is at least 7, 8 years old, maybe even 10 years old at this point. I'm sure it's somewhere in the county. I don't believe that at that time, a performing arts venue was considered as one of the options. I could be wrong. I could be mistaken. I can't, again, it goes back like 10 years.
I think she's referring to when the CSO was over at Arboretum and they were.
So,
yeah, they're looking for a venue.
Yeah, so that was a separate issue.
Completely, yeah.
Just real briefly, the Chicago Symphony Orchestra approached Choose DuPage, Chairman Cronin, DuPage County, expressing an interest in a DuPage County residence for their summer concert series. And that's when we, the Arboretum, took them under their wing and they performed out there for a few seasons. And for many, many reasons, both parties decided it wasn't the best fit for a performing arts venue. And the relationship, while it's still very positive, they don't have a summer performing arts series out there anymore.
But they would like to come out west, right?
So they already are coming out west, Brian. They have a series at Wheaton College, which was alluded to earlier. And so I've gone to those series.
I
So
mean, they would like to have like a Ravinia. West
everyone
out
would
there.
like to have a
Yeah.
Ravinia
Yeah.
West. So
So
this is
I-
what we're
right.
doing, right? So
Yeah.
thank you for your support of that.
Yeah,
And
no,
that's
I-
what exactly what we're talking
Right like
about.
that.
And
Yeah, I do.
hello, this is what we're talking
like-
about.
I
So.
do think it's great to repurpose these fairgrounds to make it more of a community gathering, a place for the community to gather. I think it's a
That's what
great
this
idea.
is all about. Yes. So, and I know that you weren't supportive of this on the board, so I'm glad to see that you're coming around and being here and showing your
Well,
support.
I love the
and
arts. I
agreement to-
support the arts.
So, well,
Totally.
so there we go. So yes, Member Selman.
I just want to add a little bit of clarification about the numbers, because I think you guys are convoluting things. The 215 is Beth Marquette's number, which you know how Beth puts it together with the projection.
No.
So
It
that
was Jim's
was,
number.
That's Jim's
It
number.
was Jim's
That was
number.
Jim Dowd, that's what she
Yeah,
quoted.
we have
I mean,
different, oh, no, what the number that you're talking about is income earned, like that was drummed up, and that was different, that Beth is going to include in her report. So that's a
yeah,
different,
but I think
there was
the,
two different.
the questions that you guys are asking, that's why we need Beth to walk through
No,
herself.
mine has
No,
nothing
no,
to do
ours
with
has
that.
nothing to do
That's
with
nothing
that.
to do with what
What
Member
Jim said.
Garcia asked for.
I just wanted to write it.
Yeah, the chairman reported 215 in her opening statement.
Oh, that
of
part, okay.
revenue.
Yeah.
But I just
That's
want,
what
there's
we
a
were
reason
given.
that you're putting that part is so that Beth can present it
Yes,
herself. 'cause-
absolutely.
That has nothing to do with
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
No, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but thank you so much, everyone. Is there any other, if there's no more old business, moving on to new business, which is basically this entire committee, which is what I say every time, then without further comment, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you so much to everyone.